having. So I'm here to talk about what a kitchen table climate conversation is and how it originated. Well, it did actually start around a table. I remember a round table, which is the best kind of table sometimes for this kind of discussion. And we asked the question about why is it so difficult to talk about the climate? And we decided we wanted to create a somewhat structured program and resources to help empower people to talk about the climate emergency and climate justice. So what does our program look like? This also kind of developed as we confronted different challenges. We asked ourselves, what can we do to face the crisis and create the change required? And we thought talking about it is a good start, and creating a compassionate space for one another to share experiences, feelings, and explore ideas together was something that we really wanted to help facilitate. So the first part of the conversation does involve acknowledging the urgency that we are in and the crisis that we face. And this can look like a number of different things for different groups. If it's a group that's not that aware, it can look like some science. If it's a group that has a specific area that they're interested in, like maybe food, it can be food justice or food security. And it can be really, really well led by the participants themselves. I was in a really good conversation recently where they shared the experiences of the climate impacts from their home countries around the circle. And that was really impactful. So the next challenge, though, is after the urgency, how do we balance the fear with hope and to moving into collective action together? So the way we do that is we spend just a little time on the urgency and we move very quickly into allowing people to talk about their feelings and to imagine what a better future might look like. And that takes us into also talking about solutions and potential actions. So what the last part of the conversation is important to leave people feeling like they can do something. And that can be an individual action. We've seen many ideas today. And also they could be working collectively, joining a group and working with one of the three neighbors groups. And it could be like we have 3 elections coming up in the near future. So it could be working to raise awareness politically around the importance of candidates who will work for a livable future for all. So there's multiple things that conversation could lead to. So we had another challenge. Of course, we had COVID start and we could no longer meet around those round tables and in person. So we worked really hard over the past year to help people who want to tailor conversations for different groups, who want to host or facilitate a conversation. This is a screenshot from our new website, climateconversations.ca, and there are resources there, and you can fill out a form to ask for support. We also have monthly support meetings ongoing, and we have just done 4 webcasts for hosts and facilitators. And that's what I want to end with. It's just, I get so excited thinking about all of the experiences and ideas that were shared at those webcasts from everyone who has ideas about where they would like to hold a conversation. And this picture is from a teach-in we had. And in this picture alone, we have at least 3 people who are running faith-based conversations. We have a couple who are running conversations through Africa's Climate Action Initiative. And I don't want to embarrass her, but Valerie, you see in the second row there, she is bringing in new volunteers and helping them run their conversations, maybe with their family or their coworkers or their neighbors. And I just want to end by an example of 2 conversations I've helped with, just to show you how different they can be and the access points that you can have. One was a lunch hour, actually 30 minutes. And a colleague of mine was putting on a lunch hour talk. And so we created a climate game. So we generated conversation with climate questions. And that's how her coworkers had not even thought about recycling yet. So it was a very soft entrance. And then it is helpful to have a buddy that you trust to help you, so you feel that you can run your conversation. And so I want to tell a very personal story. My first big conversation was with my mother in my rural hometown where I grew up. So that conversation was in contrast. They went for over 3 hours. It was amazing. And we talked more about the challenges and the opportunities in a rural setting. So I'm going to end there, and you've got some links in the chat. If you have an idea or a group that you think would be great to have a conversation with, please do reach out. We are always excited to help people feel more empowered to talk about the climate crisis and climate justice.
How do you handle encounters with people who refuse to acknowledge the climate crisis? I have a couple family members that are more, like don't believe in it. And I have a hard time even wanting to get them to even want to engage in that kind of conversation.
Well, I have a few answers for that. It's really difficult if they're close to you, like it is your family. So that can be really frustrating. But in general, if you have the real climate deniers, that will take a lot of energy. And it may be better to concentrate on people that are aware, but not sure how they can act, or not sure how bad it is and how important it is to act. But with your family, I've had really good advice. I had really good advice from a woman I was in a circle with at Queen's Park, and it was an Indigenous encampment. And what we were talking about was how hard it was to discuss with people who were, and the advice that was given to me was just, you don't want to be antagonize the people you're close to, like you have to live with them. But if you can even just plant a seed of information or a seed of something you're excited about, or you just learned, or, and every time just one more and one more. My dad, ultra conservative, he just bought an electric car, and he's reading books about the climate crisis and telling me about it. So, I mean, it's hard, but just, and also be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You can't do it all at once.
For sure. Thank you. Awesome. How do we get involved with you? Are you currently looking for volunteers to host?
Sure. Yes. We have the website. You can fill out the contact form, or you can actually just email katcc@climatefast.ca. And yeah, we can. We have a team, a small team that would be great to grow.
Awesome. And Juhi is wondering, how did you get your dad to turn the green page?
Yeah, you know what? After I said that, I wondered if my dad watches this. My dad, he's a big conversationalist. So it was a lot of just listening and being respectful and saying what I'm doing, what I'm learning, and allowing some of the resistance to come up, allowing some of, and just sort of saying, yeah, I can understand why you're afraid of that, or I can understand why you feel that way. And, but this is why I feel this way, and just so the dialogue, not giving up completely around the supper table, but when it got to be too much, just saying, okay, we're gonna play a game now, it's a family time, or, that type of thing. Yeah.
Awesome.